12 bizarre discoveries in the Amazon. If you're venturing into a part of the world with the most unique species of animals on the planet, you're probably in for some interesting finds. Join us as we explore some of the most bizarre Amazon discoveries. Number 12. The Pink Dolphin. To begin things, we start with the apex predator of the Amazon River. It's a strange and terrifying creature, but by no means is it safe from other predators in this intense jungle. The Amazon River dolphin, or boto as it's also known, is an absolute marvel. It can grow as large as an adult human, but the weirdest part of it is clearly the color. The boto is bright pink, and the present theory is this dolphin has blood capillaries near the surface of its skin, which gives it its distinctive hue, but nobody really knows for sure where the colors come from. There's legends, however, of these mysterious creatures transforming into attractive men. These creatures then lure unsuspecting women to the water's edge, before stealing them away to the water's deep realms. While the legend probably doesn't have a whole lot of basis in truth, the pink dolphins of the Amazon are a supremely surprising and interesting species to come upon. Welcome to the Amazon. Number 11. The Green Anaconda. With all of the biodiversity and incredible variations of flora and fauna in the Amazon, it's not surprising to find that the largest snake in the world calls this place its home. The Green Anaconda is not, strictly speaking, the longest snake in the world, but it is by far the heaviest. Females are generally larger than the males, and they can reach up to 550 pounds, growing over 30 feet in length. Also, the creature is just 12 inches in diameter, so while it isn't the longest, it's a pretty formidable snake. The good news is, however, that the Green Anaconda is not venomous. The bad news is, it can still pretty easily kill large prey like deer, caiman, and even jaguars. Anacondas will use their immense weight, along with their strength, to suffocate and crush their living meals. Now, it may be hard to picture a 30-foot snake sneaking up on you, but they use stealth in order to hunt their prey. Number 10. The Arapaima. Now, if you're worried about swimming in piranha-infested waters, you may want to re-evaluate your list of fears with this next discovery. The Arapaima is a carnivorous fish that takes up just a little bit more space than a piranha does. These behemoths can grow up to 9 feet long, weighing about 200 pounds. The Arapaima is encased in what appears to be armor-like plating, so it doesn't have a whole lot of fear of anything in the river. They mostly feast on fish and birds and are forced to float near the surface of the river to breathe air as well as water. Now, if you weren't scared enough already, these fish are so intense and monstrous that even their tongue has teeth. Number 9. The Giant Otter. When you see a family of otters playing around in a river or even the ocean, often you may think, oh, how cute. This is at least partly because otters tend to be small. The Amazon, however, is home to the largest species of this marine mammal. It's all in that name. The aptly titled Giant Otter really says it all. Males can grow up to 6 feet long, and the adults of the species eat up to 9 pounds of food every day. While this may still seem adorable, these animals hunt in packs. They've even been seen eating a giant anaconda and a 5-foot caiman, so maybe less adorable and more vicious than you would imagine. They are getting rarer as human intervention threatens their way of life, but these capable hunters are still known to the locals as the river wolves. Number 8. The Candiru. Not everything that's terrifying in the Amazon is giant, though admittedly most creatures are. The Candiru are tiny parasitic fish that work to latch themselves onto a larger fish's gills in order to feast on their blood. They use their sharp spines to hold themselves in place, and the bigger fish can't get them off. This is all well and good and may not seem like such a big deal, but there's more to the story than meets the eye. There is at least one documented case of a Candiru launching itself up a man's urethra while he was urinating, and the spiny fish got lodged in a urinary tract. At the time of an emergency surgery, it was attempting to burrow into his testicle. You know, probably at this point we should stress that this incident is very rare, though all the same it may stop you from using the Amazon River as a toilet. Number 7. Bull sharks. When you're spending all of your time worrying about the dangers of the Amazon, you may not get the full experience of its beauty, along with the importance of the river, but you also might not be expecting a killer from the sea. Bull sharks actually live in the Amazon River. They can be found as far up the river as Peru, which is about 2,500 miles away from the ocean. The bull shark's special kidneys are able to alter the salinity of the surrounding water, which allows these unique predators to survive in freshwater. They also tend to reach about 11 feet in length, and they can weigh approximately 700 pounds. Not surprisingly, bull sharks are some of the more frequent attackers of humans. They have multiple rows of razor-sharp teeth and seem to prefer a close proximity to towns and villages. Due to their aggression and tendency to live near densely populated areas, bull sharks are considered one of the most dangerous sharks on the planet. Number 6. Electric eels. Okay, so now you're getting concerned about being bitten and strangled and crushed. But there's another much less conventional thing to worry about with regards to the Amazonian wild, and that's electrocution. That's right, there are electric eels in the Amazon River, and they pack a punch. These eels are relatives of the catfish family and can grow up to 8 feet long. Their electric output has been measured to be about 600 volts, and they generate this charge from specialized cells. The voltage is about 5 times the power of a typical electrical socket. It can knock over a horse. Now, while 600 volts isn't usually enough to kill a full-grown human, multiple shocks can quickly lead to respiratory failure, along with heart attacks. Also, you're getting this kind of shock while inside a river. Now, it's not uncommon for people to be stunned after an eel attack and, well, just simply drown. Imagine just trying to swim in the Amazon after getting multiple shocks of 600 volts. There are a large number of disappearances in the region that have been attributed to eels, but whether they were attacking or just actually scared and surprised is unknown. Number 5. The glass frog. Camouflage is a useful survival tactic for creatures that get fed upon, but sometimes in the Amazon, this technique leads to some interesting consequences. The glass frog is technically green, but upon seeing this specimen, that might not be the color you'd guess. The skin of the glass frog, as the name suggests, is entirely see-through when looking at it from the underside. You can see all of the frog's internal organs working away, the heart pumping blood, and even the stomach digesting. These strange creatures can grow up to 3 inches in length, and they've been known to eat their young. While this isn't actually unusual in frogs, the optics involved in this familial violence verges on something from an M.C. Escher painting. Number 4. The decoy building spider. When threatened, many creatures on the planet are likely to make themselves look big. That way, they can scare away their would-be predators. Cats will raise their backs. Some lizards will flatten themselves. Even humans are told to look big when faced with animal threats. It's a tried and true method, and it's also somewhat related to the decoy building spider. But naturally, like many Amazon creatures, it takes things just a little bit further. This recently discovered spider is thought to be of a species that's never before been seen. It's actually only about 5 millimeters in length. However, the small size doesn't stop it from scaring off bigger bugs. The technique it uses is to construct a giant spider shape out of dead leaves and debris. It's a complete decoy with multiple legs and an abdomen. Thus, it seems like a gigantic spider is actually living in the web, but it's actually all just for show. This fascinating and brilliant work of nature is now being studied at a research center, but very little is known yet of this tiny craftsman. Number 3. Piranha. No matter where you go in the world, it's hard to beat this classic of bizarre discoveries. We're talking about the red-bellied piranha. Piranhas could justifiably be called the oldest fear in the Amazon River. But despite all of the Hollywood hype, these little guys aren't exactly all as bad as they seem. When we say little, we don't exactly mean it all that literally. Piranhas grow to be 12 inches long and hunt in packs. And as for their danger potential, well, they've got hilariously sharp teeth that interlock for maximum tearing power. Usually, though, piranhas are actually just scavengers, and they tend to eat things that are badly wounded or already dead. But what they do to their prey is the stuff of horror movies. A feeding frenzy of tens of these organic hacksaws will skeletonize their unfortunate food source in just a matter of minutes. Now, attacks on humans do happen, but thankfully it's incredibly rare. When it does occur, it's usually linked to a provocation or starvation. Number 2. The Jesus lizard. At this point, you may be thinking that nothing else lives in the Amazon that could be much of a surprise, considering what was on our list up till this point. Many creatures that are discovered in the Amazon can walk, and many live in the water. But but very few do both at once. The affectionately titled Jesus lizard is one of the stranger inhabitants of this wild wonderland, and it's truly a sight to behold. Also known as the common basilisk, the Jesus lizard is so named because it can literally walk on water. Well, it actually runs on the water. When escaping predators, the lizard splays its toes to reveal webbing, which, combined with its powerful legs, can allow the creature to run along the water's surface. The Jesus lizard can do this for up to 60 feet. It's a unique and powerful survival tactic, but it's actually a tiring exercise. After the run, it's usually pretty far away from its foe, and it sinks and swims at its leisure to another less dangerous spot. Number 1. Caiman. The black caiman is essentially a gigantic alligator. These beasts can grow up to 20 feet long, and they're much heavier than Nile crocodiles. Their diet consists of, well, everything. Monkeys, piranhas, deer, and even anaconda are all on the menu. These prehistoric predators are also partial to people, but not exactly in a good way. In 2010, a biologist that was cleaning a fish was attacked by a caiman living below her house. And while she was able to fend it off, it wouldn't leave empty-handed, taking away one of her legs as a prize. Apparently, the brood had been under her houseboat for over 8 months, just waiting hungrily. Let us know in the comments which creature shocked you the most. We will highlight the best comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.